Hi guys, here Tony Robbins. Good morning. Our today life-changing topic, how to be happy and remove negative thoughts in any situation. You know, people ask me all the time, Tony, how can I stay happy when life gets hard? How do I stop these negative thoughts that just keep coming back? And I always tell them, it's not about what happens to you. It's about what you decide to focus on, because what you focus on, you feel. And what you feel consistently becomes your life. Happiness isn't something you find. It's something you create. It's a habit. It's a muscle you train. And like any muscle, if you don't use it, it gets weak. Most people think happiness will come when things change. When I get that job, when I find the right person, when I make more money. But have you noticed, when you finally get what you wanted, the feeling doesn't last, because happiness isn't in the circumstances. It's in your decisions. You can be in the middle of chaos and still feel peace. You can be surrounded by negativity and still choose joy, because happiness is not a result, it's a choice. Let me tell you something I've learned over decades of working with millions of people. Everyone has problems, everyone. But some people turn their problems into prisons, while others turn them into fuel. What makes the difference? It's your state. The moment you change your state, your body, your focus, your language, everything changes. You can't think your way out of negativity while sitting still, breathing shallow, shoulders down and face tense. Move your body, change your physiology, stand tall, take a deep breath, put your shoulders back, smile even if it feels fake, because emotion is created by motion. If you want to feel happy, do what happy people do. They move differently. They breathe differently. They focus differently. When something happens, most people ask, why is this happening to me? But achievers, fulfilled people, they ask, what can I learn from this? How can I use this? How has this happened for me, not to me? That one shift from to me to for me, it can transform pain into power. You see, your mind is like a garden. If you don't plant flowers, weeds will grow automatically. Negative thoughts are those weeds. They don't need permission to show up. They just come. But if you don't pull them out, if you don't replace them with something empowering, they'll take over everything. So every morning, you've got to decide, what kind of garden am I growing today? Am I planting gratitude, love, growth, and joy? Or am I letting fear, doubt, and comparison grow wild? You have to become the gardener of your mind. And you know what's funny? Most people spend more time planning their weekend than planning their emotional state. They'll plan where to eat, what to wear, what to post, but they don't decide how they're going to feel. And if you don't decide, life decides for you. When negative thoughts come, and they will, don't fight them. Don't resist them, because whatever you resist persists. Just notice them and ask, is this thought helping me or hurting me? If it's hurting you, replace it with something that serves you. Say it out loud. I'm in charge of my mind. I'm not my thoughts. I'm the thinker. Your mind is a survival machine. It's built to protect you, not to make you happy. It's always scanning for what's wrong. So if you let it run without direction, it will always find something to stress about. You have to take control, direct your focus. Focus on what's good, what's working, what you can give, because where focus goes, energy flows. If you want happiness, you've got to give. When you're grateful, fear disappears. When you're serving, sadness fades. You can't be truly unhappy while you're giving from your heart. You want to remove negativity fast. Do something for someone else with zero expectation. Call someone and tell them you appreciate them. Help a stranger. Make someone laugh. Your life changes when your attention moves from yourself to others. And remember, it's not the events that shape your life. It's the meaning you give to those events. If you tell yourself life is unfair, you'll feel hopeless. If you tell yourself life is training you, you'll feel strong. If you tell yourself this pain is making you wiser, you'll feel grateful. Meaning equals emotion, and emotion equals life. You can't wait for perfect conditions to be happy. If you can be happy only when things go right, you're never really free. True freedom is being able to choose your state regardless of circumstances. When you master your state, you master your life. And the key to that mastery is 3 things: focus, meaning, and movement. Focus on what empowers you. Give empowering meaning to what happens. And move your body like someone who's alive, strong, and blessed. You'll notice something amazing. Your problems don't go away, but they lose their power over you. You stop being the victim of your thoughts. You become the author of them. People say, Tony, you're always so positive. No, I'm not always positive. I just don't stay negative for long. Because I've trained my mind to look for the lesson, the growth, the gift. When something painful happens, I remind myself life is happening for me, even if I can't see it yet. And you've got to make that your mantra. Because life will test you. You'll lose people. You'll face failure. You'll have moments when you doubt yourself. But if you hold on to gratitude and growth, you'll find beauty even in the struggle. Happiness is not an emotion. It's a decision backed by discipline. Every day you must feed your mind with what uplifts you. Read, listen, move, connect, and serve. You can't think your way into a better life. You must act your way into one. So today, make a promise to yourself: no more giving power to negative thoughts. No more waiting for something outside to change. From this moment, I decide to be happy because I can, because I'm alive, because I have breath, opportunity, and choice. And if you ever forget, just remember this: you can't control the waves, but you can learn to surf. You can't stop the storms, but you can dance in the rain. And the more you practice that, the freer, lighter, and more fulfilled you become. That's happiness, not perfection, not having everything, but knowing that no matter what happens, you have the power to shape how you feel and how you live every single day. Most people live their lives waiting for something to happen, waiting for permission to be happy. They say, when I get that job, when I lose that weight, when I finally have enough money, then I'll feel good. But that's a formula for suffering, because you're teaching your brain that happiness is always somewhere else. It's always one condition away. And that means you'll never feel it for long. Happiness doesn't live in the future. It lives in the present moment. It lives in the decision you make right now about what things mean. It lives in the ability to find something beautiful even in the middle of chaos. You don't wait for joy. You create it. If you don't manage your mind, it will manage you. And if your mind manages you, it will always pull you toward fear, because the brain has one job: survival. It's looking for what's wrong. It's constantly scanning. What could hurt me? What could go wrong? What might not work? And if you let that program run unchecked, it steals your peace. So you have to become the leader of your mind, not the follower. You've got to train it every single day, because the mind left to itself becomes like a wild horse. It runs wherever it wants. But when you take the reins, when you direct it with focus, gratitude, purpose, that's when you experience power. Every single one of us has two voices. One says, you can't, you're not enough, you'll fail. The other says, keep going. You're stronger than you think. You've got this. The question is, which one are you feeding? Because whichever voice you feed grows. You don't eliminate negative thoughts by fighting them. You starve them by focusing on something higher. Every time you choose to smile when you could complain, every time you choose patience when you could react, you're wiring your nervous system for peace. You're teaching your brain a new pattern that you are not your emotions, you are their master. Think about it. You can't control the outside world. You can't control the weather, traffic, or people's opinions, but you can control your inner world. And that's where your power is. The moment you take responsibility for your emotions, your life changes. Because blame takes away power, but responsibility gives it back. You can't be happy and blame at the same time. You can't be grateful and angry in the same breath. One emotion cancels the other. So the secret is to choose emotions that empower you every single day. Start your day not by checking your phone or your messages, but by checking your state. Before the world tells you who to be, you tell yourself who you are. Breathe deeply, stand tall, and remind yourself of 3 things you're grateful for. It could be as simple as the air you breathe, the roof above your head, the people you love. Gratitude turns what you have into enough. And when gratitude is your foundation, negative thoughts lose their grip. You see, life is not about avoiding pain. It's about learning to use pain. When something hurts, it's a signal. It's feedback. It's life trying to get your attention and say, hey, there's something to grow from here. But most people get stuck in the story of pain instead of the lesson behind it. They keep replaying what went wrong instead of asking, what can I learn? What's the gift? Every experience has a gift if you stay with it long enough to see it. The people who hurt you, they taught you boundaries. The failures, they gave you humility and wisdom. The delays, they built your patience and faith. Nothing in life is wasted if you give it meaning. Happiness grows in meaning. You know what else steals happiness? Comparison. Social media, society, people around you, everyone's showing their highlight reel. And you start to think they're happier, they've got it figured out. But comparison is the thief of joy because it's based on illusion. You don't see their pain, their doubts, their sleepless nights. So stop comparing your behind the scenes with someone else's highlight reel. Your path is unique. Your timing is perfect. When you start celebrating other people instead of comparing, you turn jealousy into inspiration. You go from envy to energy, and that shift alone will free your heart. Another key to lasting happiness is contribution. When life is only about you, your goals, your comfort, your needs, it's small. But when life becomes about serving, loving, lifting others, it expands. The happiest people on earth are not the ones who have the most. They're the ones who give the most. Because giving creates meaning, and meaning creates joy. If you ever feel stuck, find someone who needs help and give. If you ever feel depressed, go out and serve. When you give your time, your love, your energy, you remind your mind that you are not powerless, you are abundant. And here's the truth. Happiness is not the absence of negative thoughts. It's the mastery of them. It's not about never feeling sad or anxious. It's about not staying there. You acknowledge it, you learn from it, and then you move forward. I've met people with nothing, no money, no possessions, yet they're radiant with joy. And I've met billionaires who are miserable because happiness isn't what you have, it's what you decide to value. If you value growth, love, connection, contribution, you'll always find happiness no matter where you are. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is let go. Let go of needing control. Let go of perfection. Let go of the need for everything to make sense. Because when you surrender to the flow of life, you create space for peace. Every storm passes, every winter turns to spring, and if you keep faith through the storm, you come out stronger, deeper, wiser. I want you to remember something. You were born enough. You don't have to prove your worth. You don't need to earn happiness. You were created for joy, love, and purpose. And the moment you start acting from that truth, your entire world transforms. The quality of your life is the quality of your emotions. And your emotions are controlled by your focus, your language, and your physiology. Change those three and you can shift from sadness to joy in seconds. Try it right now. Stand up, take a deep breath, smile, say out loud, I'm alive, I'm blessed, I can handle anything. You do that for 2 minutes and tell me you don't feel different. That's how fast your brain chemistry changes when your state changes. Don't wait for motivation. Create momentum. Because when you move, you start to feel. When you feel, you act, and when you act, you create results. Every day is a chance to train your mind like a warrior. Feed it positivity, protect it from garbage, and challenge it to see the good even when it's hard, because life will test you, your patience, your faith, your belief in yourself. But those tests are not punishments. They're preparation, they're shaping you for the next level of your destiny. So when negative thoughts show up, smile at them. Say, thank you for trying to protect me, but I choose faith today. I choose peace. I choose happiness. And then act like it. Speak words that empower, walk with certainty. Give love even when it's hard, because happiness is built by repetition, not reaction. Your mind is your home. Make it a place worth living in. Keep it clean. Keep it bright. Keep it filled with gratitude. And if someone throws dirt at you, don't pick it up. Wash it off with forgiveness. Every day, life is whispering to you. You're stronger than you think. You're more loved than you realize. You're here for a reason. Don't let the noise of fear drown out that voice of truth. Because happiness isn't something to chase. It's something to return to. It's who you already are underneath the fear, the doubt, and the noise. You are love. You are light, and no negative thought can take that from you unless you hand it the key. So today, decide. Decide to live with joy. Decide to focus on what's right. Decide to forgive, to grow, to give, and to shine. Because no matter what happens, you always have that choice. And that choice is your freedom. You know, sometimes the reason we're not happy isn't because life is hard. It's because we've forgotten who we are. We've forgotten that we already have everything we need inside of us. We've been conditioned to believe happiness is something we have to go find out there in some future moment, in someone else's hands, in some perfect circumstance. But the truth is, happiness begins the moment you stop running from yourself. You can't love your life if you're at war with your own mind. And so many people are fighting battles no one can see, fighting guilt, regret, fear, and shame. But what if instead of fighting those parts of you, you learn to love them? What if you stopped saying, I shouldn't feel this way, and started saying, it's okay to feel this way, and I choose something better now? See, self-compassion is one of the most powerful keys to lasting happiness. You'll never bully yourself into peace. You can't shame yourself into joy. You can't criticize yourself into change. You grow by forgiving yourself. Forgive yourself for what you didn't know. Forgive yourself for the times you were just trying to survive. Forgive yourself for staying too long, for trusting too much, for believing the wrong people. Because holding on to guilt only chains you to the past. And happiness cannot grow where resentment lives. Forgiveness doesn't mean you're saying it was okay. It means you're choosing not to let it control you anymore. You're saying, this moment forward, I take my power back. The greatest act of strength isn't revenge, it's release. When you forgive, you create space for peace to return. And in that peace, happiness can finally breathe again. You see, happiness doesn't come from a perfect life. It comes from a peaceful heart. You can be surrounded by noise, chaos, and uncertainty and still feel a calm power inside if you've trained your focus. And focus is a choice. Every day you wake up, you're choosing, consciously or not, what to focus on. If you focus on fear, you'll feel fear. If you focus on gratitude, you'll feel joy. If you focus on growth, you'll feel alive, because whatever you consistently focus on becomes your emotional home. So the question is, where have you been living? In anxiety, in anger, in what's missing, or in what's possible? If you don't like the neighborhood, move. Move your focus. Shift your energy. Choose a new story. You're not stuck because of your circumstances. You're stuck because you keep replaying the same mental movie. And the more you replay it, the more real it feels. But you can change that movie anytime you want. Pick up the pen and start writing a new chapter. Every emotion you feel is just a signal, not a sentence. It's trying to tell you something. Fear says, prepare. Anger says, a boundary was crossed. Sadness says, you care deeply. Gratitude says, you're blessed. You don't have to run from any of it. You just have to listen, learn, and then choose what to do next. That's emotional mastery. Not pretending to be happy all the time, but having the awareness to know, I can feel this and I can move through it. And when you stop judging your emotions, they stop controlling you. When you welcome them with understanding, you discover they were never your enemy, just your teachers. You know, one of the greatest sources of unhappiness is when people forget they have control over meaning. It's not the event, it's the meaning that breaks you or makes you. The same event can destroy one person and empower another. A breakup can make one person bitter and another person wise. A failure can make one person quit and another person start again stronger. The difference is meaning, and meaning is the story you tell yourself. So if you don't like how you feel, change your story. Don't say, I'm broken. Say, I'm healing. Don't say, I'm lost. Say, I'm discovering. Don't say, I failed. Say, I'm learning. Because words have power. They shape your emotions and your future. If you want to be happy, start speaking life into yourself. Speak like someone who believes in their own strength. You can't plant negative words and expect a positive life. The words you say are like seeds. You're planting them every moment. Plant joy, plant hope, plant power. And then there's another truth. Happiness multiplies when you share it. You can't hoard joy. It grows by giving it away. You can be the light in someone's dark day with just a smile, a word, a small act of kindness. And the more light you give, the brighter your own world becomes. Every time you choose to lift someone up, you lift yourself higher. Because we're wired for connection. We're happiest when we're contributing beyond ourselves. If you're feeling down, disconnected, or numb, find a way to serve. Not to get something back, but because giving is the most natural expression of who you really are. You want to remove negative thoughts fast. Do something that shifts your energy from me to we. Call someone, encourage them. Be there for them. The moment you bring value to someone else's life, you remember your own value too. You don't need a perfect plan, you just need presence. You don't need to fix the world. You just need to love a little louder today. Happiness is built in small moments, not big achievements. It's in the laughter of your kids, the taste of your coffee, the sunset after a long day. It's in the moments you decide to see beauty where others see nothing. You can train your brain to notice joy, start noticing it. The breeze, the light, the colors, the voices of people you love. That's the art of being alive. That's the beginning of real happiness. And if you're in a dark place right now, I want you to know you're not broken. You're becoming. Pain isn't punishment. It's purification. It's the fire that burns away the lies you've believed about yourself. And what's left when the fire is done is the real you. The strong, beautiful, resilient you. You've made it through 100% of your hardest days. That means you're undefeated. So if you've made it this far, you can make it through anything. The question is, how do you want to live the rest of your story? As a victim of thoughts you didn't choose, we can, as the author of a life filled with purpose and joy, Choose happiness, not the shallow kind that fades with circumstances, but the deep, grounded kind that says, I'm grateful even in the storm. I trust even when I can't see the path. I love even when it hurts. Because that kind of happiness can't be taken from you. It's not built on what happens, it's built on who you've become. You are not your past. You're not your mistakes. You're not your fears. You are the awareness behind them, the one who has the power to rise again and again. And every time you rise, your light shines a little brighter, not just for you, but for everyone watching, everyone who needs hope, everyone who's forgotten that joy is still possible. So keep rising, keep loving, keep choosing happiness, not someday, but right now in this moment, because this moment is life, and life is a gift. Don't waste it thinking thoughts that don't serve you. Use it to create something beautiful, starting from the inside out.